Hi, and welcome to the What Matters podcast. Here we take a look inward at unique experiences, upward for divine direction, and outward at God's activity in our world. I'm Michelle Funk, your host, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today, joining us for a fantastic conversation we're going to have. I want to remind you to subscribe to the podcast, and that way you won't miss any of our episodes. And just remember this, What Matters Wednesday. That's when a new episode hits. So glad that you're here today. You get the pleasure of meeting Lauren Cook. Lauren serves on staff here at Church of the Resurrection at the Resurrection Overland Park campus and is part of this amazing thing that's going to happen this summer in the life of the church and even more so in the life of the children who are part of our church community. Vacation Bible Camp.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It is a thing.
It is a thing. It is a thing. So welcome, Lauren. This is so fun for you and me to get to talk a little bit. We serve on different parts of the church, and so we get to know each other a little bit. So tell me just a little bit about Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I love this podcast. I love to listen. And like you said, just even though I work here, still get to see everyone and all the amazing things we're doing because our church is doing so many big, crazy things.
Seriously.
So thank you so much for having me. I was so excited. I have like this internal dream of having a podcast, and like it will probably never come to fruition. But when you asked, I was like, I like jumped a little. So here I am. But about me, so I am the director of children's ministries at Overland Park, like you said. And so I get to play a big role in Vacation Bible Camp. But also I've been here forever. So a lot of people might not know me because Overland Park has only been alive for 2 years. But I actually was baptized at our church. So I have been here since I was born. It's been my home. I was in Kids Corps. I was in Res Life. I went to college and just kept coming back to volunteer because I was at KU. And then I was an intern for a couple summers. And then I just kept coming back. And finally they were like, okay, we better find we better find
something for you to do.
She just will literally never leave. So
love it.
And VBC has always been one of my absolute favorite things. But other than that, I feel like the other important things about me are that I have a family that I love so much. I have a husband. His name is Austin. And I have a daughter named Carolina. And she will be 3 on August 3rd.
Oh my
goodness. I can't believe it. She takes up like 98% of my brain space because she's in that age.
3. Yeah.
But it's mostly joyful. And we're blessed by her. So that's kind of my other part of my life is them.
That is so fun to hear. I just love that. She'll get to come to VBC this year.
Yes, she will.
Definitely.
Yes, we did it at home together for the first time last summer when it was all at home. But I am super excited for her to come to her first one.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So little known fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
So probably 16, 17 years ago at VBC at Church of the Resurrection, my husband played the part of Jesus. I'm just going to say that is big. And bless his heart, he did a great job. It was actually the summer that we were also moving from one house to another, which we haven't done since, and we don't do very often. And so it was a lot happening. And so in between packing up, he's rehearsing, his lines and has this awesome role of Jesus and is really worried he's going to not do it very well.
You gotta really be Jesus if you're going to be Jesus.
I'm so happy that was before the time we did, anything virtual. I don't think there's any, recording of this. Please, Lord, please, let's not let it be.
No recollection. My probably favorite one was not similar, but similar in that it was 3 years ago, and I was obviously very close to having my daughter because August 3rd. But I was like, and my husband and I had just moved from Oklahoma City back here. We were actually living with my parents while trying to find a house. So I'm pregnant and I don't have a home really. But I was like, oh, I have to be at VBC. I have to be there. And so all week I was there and the kids all called it my little basketball tummy. And I just ran around and I was like, of course I'm going to be there. So I feel like truly I've really never missed one. And it has been just a really important part of my life. And so that's probably why I'm so passionate about making it really important for other kids and families too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, of course, we have had a year.
Yes.
And last year was kind of a pivot, and this year it's going to be awesome. It will be amazing. You all are planning so beautifully, and all things are going to work out. It's going to be cool. But, so what is VBC? So, yeah,
yes.
and what is what are some of the things to know about VBC?
Yes, and you are like so many people out right now that are like, what are you guys even doing? Like they know we'll do something. And we have for a long time felt like we couldn't answer them because we were like, well, we don't know. We have to, everything changes so fast right now. So this year, first of all, the theme, it is no matter what. So the theme is the Great Adventure. We're so excited. We have not done a lot of like Old Testament VBC themes or content, and so we're really excited to focus on Moses and the Israelites and their Exodus, which sounds at first I was like, okay, Exodus for a kindergartner. Let me think about this. But the more that we all got excited about it and really dug into scripture, I think we're all like, oh my gosh, yes, we can do this. This is amazing. And this is such an important thing for kids they don't just want to know about New Testament Jesus. They need to know about everything, the whole Bible.
That's right.
So I'm really excited about it. But so that's our theme. Everything is nature and trees and fun and outdoors, and it's going to be amazing. But that's our theme. So that's, I think, what gets kids really excited because they're like, oh, okay, I can connect to that.
Right.
So then we are going to have in-person and online. So obviously last year was this brand new thing where it all had to be online, and it was terrifying, but then it was amazing. And families were like, oh, this is actually awesome. You guys are, we created so many pieces for them to do it. And so some families still want that. Whether because they live here and that's what they're more comfortable with, or they actually live all across the country. We were able to, we had families from over 20 states that joined us last year, and it was amazing, and we didn't want to lose that. So we're doing both, which makes it daunting and scary and oh my Lord. But at the same time, we've got experience with both. And so we're just learning how to mesh them together.
Merge them together. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we've decided is that it will be 4 days in person at every single campus, no matter where you are. Actually, it'll be 5. Let me rephrase that. It'll be 5. So it will start on Sunday in worship. Right. Yes. So we'll start on July 18th. In worship, in Sunday school. It's going to be great. I know that lots of campuses have some extra little fun things planned to make the whole families and congregations get excited and ready. And then it'll be in person at each campus. All campuses will be 9:30 to 11:30, except our downtown will stick with evenings because we know that works best for their community.
Right. And this is on the Monday through Thursday. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Monday to Thursday. And then Friday, every campus at night is going to have a massive celebration for families and community and everybody. Whether you were in person, online, you can come, and it's just going to be a party. So it's a lot. There's so much. I think there's something for everybody this year, which is exciting.
I love the idea of starting at Sunday, to really get the families going. And I understand, aren't there some tools that you're going to be giving to the families or, to take home? And Okay.
Yep. So whether they are in person or online, they will get a backpack, a kit. It'll be a lot more in depth if they're at home because we got to give them everything.
That's right.
Whereas if they're coming back, we're going to keep some of it and then give it to them as they come each day. But everybody will get their backpack, a really fun water bottle, just some fun things to get them excited about the theme. One thing I'm also very excited about that we're just getting figured out and out there is that we're going to have our partners at Abingdon, they are going to help us create almost like a mini Bible. So they're going to pull the stories that we're using, as well as some contextual stories. But for kids, so that everybody has access to scripture, whether their parents are using it or they're reading it to their kids or the kids old enough to read it themselves. But sometimes you think about, well, if they're at home, they might not have a Bible. They might not have access to scripture. And And that really is at the heart of what we're doing. So that's an exciting addition for a tool that we're providing this year for families to make sure that they're all learning and growing.
That is so fun. Abingdon is our publishing house,
Yes.
Partner. And so I bet they're psyched about this as well.
I hope so.
Because I don't know if they get to do cool stuff like that.
It's super different.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great tool.
Yes. So you start on Sunday and then Monday through Thursday at the sites, and then that will be some fun teaching. Are you still going to do the drama part?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that because that will look a little bit different.
Yeah.
How we're going to do that is we're getting youth and adults and people from teams all across our campuses to come together and pre-record a super awesome drama at different locations. And, that actually opens up lots of opportunities when you do it ahead of time.
Yeah.
So we're going to make the dramas ahead of time, and then each campus will get to watch them.
Yeah.
So they won't necessarily be live dramas, but I think they're still going to be amazing. And maybe even better because they'll get to be different places, and kids will get to see kids from other campuses.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
That's so fun. There'll be kids' roles. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So our characters,
Yay.
Yeah, we'll be people from everywhere coming together.
I love it, love it, love it. All of this. So we've done VBC. Golly, how many years? Since the church began, maybe? I mean,
at least some form of it.
Yeah. And so all of this comes from years and years of, we learned and we were doing it this way. We know it works. But over the past 2 years, you all have had to, you talk about the word pivot.
That was a word I didn't want to hear ever again last year.
I'm so sorry. But you did it. And did it so beautifully. So there's quite a team working on this.
Yes, and that's probably what I should have started with because this team is the most amazing, incredible group of people I've ever worked with. Obviously, the Leawood team I've known for a long time. And so it's been amazing to feel like, I've known you and you've let me be a part of your serve team. But now I'm like with you and doing it with you. And it's been just amazing to get to be a part of. But we also have directors at every campus. So there's directors at all of our campuses. You guys, if you're watching and you have in your family, you probably know them. We've got Sarah Elliott from downtown, who is she is creative and energetic, and she brings just the most fun ideas. She doesn't limit herself, so I think we get so much creativity from her.
Yeah.
We've got Christy Walker from West, and she is also an ideator. She has ideas just coming out of her ears. And she just loves to, she just talks, and it's amazing to just be like, oh, okay, keep going. You've got these ideas. So she's a really important part. And she's got some staff on her team also that have played roles. And then at Blue Springs, we've got Diane in Low. She's amazing. She's organized. She gets things done. Her husband also is like a graphics extraordinaire. So he just helps us create things and another very creative mind. And then at Leawood, we have Nick Ransom, who most of us know. He is really the brains and the heart and he's been here. He knows what he's doing. He keeps us all on track, which we need with so many creative brains that are just spouting ideas. He brings us all in. He reminds us why we're here. Just does a really great job. And then somebody from Leawood that people might not know, but who VBC is her baby is Gail Gunderson. So she is, again, leads us, guides us, knows what she's doing. And she's also very good at both her and Nick are really good at knowing the strengths of others. And that's something that I have learned from them is how to see what are other people good at so that we can work together best as a team. Because we know that VBC will never happen with just one of us. It takes all of us plus our expanded teams, our volunteers. I mean, it takes hundreds of people to make something this awesome work for this many kids. And so the team that's how it happens.
Yeah, that is how it happens. And how cool the collaboration that takes place. I mean, oh my word, I bet your meetings are really fun.
Oh, they are. They always go far longer than they probably should. But this is a group of people who are truly friends, who care about each other, and who love love and are passionate about children and families.
Yeah. Yeah. And it comes through so beautifully. So you do engage the help of volunteers. I'm happy to say I volunteered a whole lot at VBC. That was something our family, we looked forward to every summer. Every summer it was like, there's no doubt that we're going to be a part of this, that we are absolutely going to be. And I come from a former life of being a teacher. My husband is a teacher. So, we had the luxury of the time available, but we would have made a point of it nonetheless because it's just such a great thing for our children. Yeah. And our kids have such best memories of VBC stuff, all from the room decor to mom being in the room, being a teacher and having to try. Yes. I can't say my kids always were the best behaved because I think that might happen when you volunteer. But anyway, tell me about the volunteers and the role of the volunteers for this year.
Yeah. So what I like to say, at least at Overland Park, is that VBC is not just for kids. VBC is for kids and grown-ups. So we want you to be a part of it. We don't want you to just come and think about it as like, oh, I've just got to show up and herd cats, because sometimes it can feel that way. But we want it to feel like, no, this is something for you. And we make this easy and fun and exciting for you as much as your kids. And so volunteers, it's grandmas, it's moms, it's dads, it's aunts, it's uncles, it's teachers, it's just community members, because why we need them, and what's another important part to know about volunteers is that you are creating a space for guests. VBC is invitational. It's really fun. So our kids internally who go to our church and who love our church, it's for them, but it's also for our communities, and at this point, our nation. I mean, it's for everybody.
Right.
And so when you choose to volunteer, not only are you going to have so much fun, but you are truly investing in the faith journey of a child, not only your own, but a child you don't even know. Yeah. And you're going to tell them who Jesus is. You're going to tell them who God is. You're going to tell them that God loves them more than they can even know. Yeah. And you're going to let them know that they are loved, they're valued, and they matter. And that's like the highest calling. What more could we want than to share God's love with children who will then grow up knowing God? I mean, it's amazing. And so volunteering is fun. Of course, we need it. Of course, it's a necessity, but it's way beyond that, so you get to be a part of something that is fun and so much bigger than yourself, and so, 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 so important, because kids, their whole lives can change by being here this week.
Absolutely. And guaranteed to make memories.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, from the fun and zany ones to the really sweet and like totally almost tear-jerking, transformational memory. You are going to make some memories for sure.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I think that was the most meaningful thing last year, was when it was my own child. I have great memories of lots and lots of going with other children and having really meaningful conversations, but also it became really real when it was my child, and I was able to tell her about Jesus, and we were able to do that together. Because that's another thing, that whether you're a mom or a grandma or a aunt, you're probably connected to a child. That's probably why you're here. And faith happens in a group. Faith happens in a family, however your family's defined. And it's not a singular, it's not like, okay, our children need to do it by themselves or go to church and learn it from Lauren or whoever. Right. It's a family journey. Yeah. And this is one of the best opportunities to do it together, to be on the ground together, doing the hard work together of being Christians and learning and growing in your faith. And so I kind of think of it too, like this is a chance for you to partner with your kid, which is amazing. And we don't always think of it that way, or we wish we had more of that. And I'm like, here it is.
Yes.
It's 5 whole days, which is a lot. Like relationships can change in those days. And really solid memories, like you said, that can shape a child's life.
Yeah. So. I tell you, it's like some of the best summer memories, for us has always stemmed from VBC. So and then, swimming pool stuff. That's been a pretty cool thing we've done too.
There's
also.
a lot of good stuff in the summer. So we also know that. We know that we're competing with a lot of stuff, which is part of why we make sure that it is fun every year. And there's something big and new every year. Shaving cream, always. It will still be here.
Oh, good. I didn't know if I should ask.
Because, yes, it will happen. It might look a little different at each campus, so I don't want to promise something. But I know we're like, well, of course that's happening. I know at ours, most of them, we're considering doing it on Friday night so that the family can be a part of it, which we've never really done. And I know as a parent, you might be like, no way. But it's actually, it's so fun. And if you knew you were going home right away, why not? Your kid would love that.
We're talking about the shaving cream war, if I'm not mistaken, where there will be shaving cream worn in all of the various places that you never really thought you would have. Yeah. But no harm.
It is kids' favorite part. For sure.
Oh yeah. They're striving for that all week long, actually.
So it'll be there, along with just so much other fun, adventurous things. And it's happening. You asked me before we started, are you at the point where you're like, oh my gosh, it's coming? And I think we so are, and we're just really excited that we're finally in a place where we know we can open our doors to kids because we just weren't sure.
Yeah.
But in the past few weeks, we're starting to feel that confidence of like, okay, it's going to look different, but they can come and they can be here. And we're still going to reach the people that aren't, and it's still going to be amazing for them. But we're going to have 2 really great options.
Yeah, I love that. I just love it. So VBC is part of what we call Kids Core, which, Core stands Church of the Resurrection, but it's the children's ministry or church that every church has. So there's lots of great things housed in children's ministry. Tell me just a little bit about that.
Yes. So that's so true. I think we focus so much on BBC, but like our team is doing amazing things all year long. So right now we're back. That's been big. Is like these past month really of being like, oh my gosh, okay. We have Kids Core in person. We have children's ministry, and it's amazing. So all of our campuses have children's ministry for birth to 5th grade, 9 and 11 a.m., since that's the worship times we currently have. And they have just we've seen so many families coming back slowly but surely. I know this last weekend with Mother's Day, it was, so many people. And I was like, yes, they're here and I love it.
Yeah.
But we still do offer Kids Core online because we know that there are some families that's still best for them. That's how they're most comfortable, or they don't live here. Or what we're realizing or remembering is that even pre-pandemic, most of us didn't come every single weekend to church because soccer and baseball and family cookouts and, all those things. And so Kids Core Online is like, oh, if you're out of town, like you can still log in.
Yeah.
Or if you're in the car, I had a girl that was always in the car on her way to soccer, but she logged in. And so it was amazing. So we are still offering it. We will still offer it.
Yeah.
And that's at 9:30. At all of our campuses. So that's also been just super joyful to see people that they truly are committed to their faith because they're even doing it online. And we create YouTube videos every single week for the different age groups. Sarah Elliott and I have the SNL show, which we just love. We're characters, but we have our own talk show, and it's for elementary. It's geared toward elementary. And this month we have been practicing our faith, but also training for a 5K because May 31st is the season finale where Sarah and I will be racing each other.
Fun.
So it is hilarious. Thankfully the kids think it's hilarious. But they get to watch that online and in person every week. And then Early Childhood has their own version as well. So, I mean, like I said, I think we're doing more now than we were before. But it's all good. It's all so good. So there's so many ways for families to engage. And I know that as directors, our favorite thing is when a family asks us what they can do, because then we get to connect with them and say like, hey, here's all these options. What works for you? Because we don't want to force somebody into anything. We want to say, how do you want to worship and how do you want to gather? And we've got it for you, or we're willing to help you figure that out. so I've been really proud of our ministry team for just making it all work and being so dang creative. And the Leewood team that helps us film and edit. And I mean, you also mentioned before the collaboration. It's just amazing what we can do when we all come together and remember that we are one church, just in a few locations. Yeah. But when we come together, it's just incredible. And I can't even believe that I get to be a part of it, just having watched as a child for so long. And now I'm here doing it. And it's and amazing. Your daughter is as well. Oh my gosh. Yeah. She's funny because she's kind of like, I think she thinks VBC goes on for like 8 months because she hears about it for all year. So when it gets here, she's kind of like, okay. Last year she just kept saying VBC, but it's, I don't even know. It's hard to even describe when your own child gets to know about Jesus and grow up feeling loved. Because I know I can love her as mom, but I'm not the only one that needs to love her. Yeah. And I just can't. I'm so excited to watch her life, knowing that she has a church family of people that are going to tell her how amazing she is. Yeah. And how much God loves her. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's nothing better. There's just nothing better, right? Yeah. Oh, Lauren, this is so fun. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the plans for VBC, the story behind the plans for VBC, for just inviting us into the excitement about it and the invitation of all it can be this summer. Yes. Even, I just think the children's ministry has done amazing things over the past course of the year that has been so unprecedented and has had a lot of really hard things, obviously. But, you all have really done just amazing ministry. Thank you. So keep on keeping on because it's really important and our kids are so precious. They're like the best things. So they need you all to keep on keeping on. Yes. And so it's going to be a great adventure this summer in VBC. So just real quick, where do you go? And we'll link it all up and everything. But what's the quick? Yep. Core.org/VBC. It's all there. Easy. Yep. Yeah. Easy peasy. Core.org/VBC stands for Vacation Bible Camp, but it's VBC. Yep. And learn all about the great adventure and how you can get involved and how your kids can be a part of it as well. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Yay. And that's what matters today. I'm Michelle Funk, your host. Soon to be with Lauren Cook, because soon to have her own podcast one of these days coming up right away. So everybody, get ready for that. Yep. Get ready for that. Yep. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. That was awesome. Yes. She's going to come in and take our picture. So you got to stay all. Good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But that was so fun. That was. I kind of wish you'd be a little excited, though. I get that a lot. I know. I love it. I love it. But how can you not be excited and happy about, I'm telling you, VBC's been kind of like one of my all-time favorite things. Oh, yeah.